Innovative content. Global audience.
Yes. It's Saturday, and it is SRTV Live that the Chris is here. What is the season? It's the season of the election. Nigeria election is round the corner, and things are happening, events unfolding. As I promised, I'll be bringing you the best of the best. Tonight, we've heard a lot from some of the parties, to be fair. Well, I've been opportunity to present to you somebody from the PDP from Delta State. You met with the presidential candidate of the Action Congress, African Action Congress yesterday. And you guys have enough of the Labour Party already. Tonight, we're privileged to be in the midst of greatness. We have the National Campaign Director for the Diaspora, the Diaspora Directorate, our very own engineer, Ayodeji, he's going to be joining us tonight to talk to us about the campaign and what we should expect from the APC. He's right here in the studio already. We're starting on time. That is to tell you the kind of person he is. First time we're starting this show on time. The guests didn't waste our time. So we're going to quickly bring him in. And that is a handsome young man. Hello.
Hey, hello. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, Ayodeji, welcome to this program. Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. It's one of those times, I must say that thanks for coming on time, where I don't have to look for you. You're there, and it's good. So tonight, we'll be looking at the All Progressive Congress. And that's why we have you here to talk us through. Before we get into that, could you please tell us who you are and what you do for the All Progressive Congress?
Okay, my name is Ayodeji Bakari. I am a support team member for the APC Diaspora Directorate, and I am advocating for my principal, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, today. Some people know me as Bongoli Online. We have a program called Pitch the Plan that we do every Sunday. And also on Tuesdays, we go on debates with other parties. And I'm looking forward to the Townhall meeting. I'm looking forward to questions that people would ask. And hopefully we're able to answer those questions beyond reasonable doubt. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. As you know, it's a town hall meeting, so we're going to expect it rough sometimes. I hope you'll be able to bear with us. Sometimes I ask annoying questions, and so are my people. So just learn to tolerate us. What we want to know is actually get the best from you. We want to know what is going on. We want to know what's happening with the APC and stuff like that. All right. So straight on. Let's start with this. All right. You are from the diaspora, so you are more familiar with how it works here. Sometimes we find it difficult in Nigeria to pin down the core manifestos or the program of most of our political parties. For instance, you are in the US. I'm happy to hear that. In the US, you have the Democrats and the Republicans, and you know what we're going to get. And sometimes in Nigeria, we find it a little bit difficult to differentiate between the Democratic and those who are conventional. Let me put it that way. So the Republicans are more traditional, and the Democrats are more liberal in a way. So, what would you say? Where would you class the All Progressive Congress in Nigeria?
Well, before I answer that question, I would like to quote Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. It says that you have freedom of association to join and or support or vote a political party. So with that being said, anyone can decide to join any party. That is how our Constitution is written. Now, as regards the APC, for example, we are a progressive party. Our manifesto is written such that is the APC party manifesto, is written such that we are always looking for opportunities and to deliver on growth and development for the grassroots, for the elites, for the middle class, low class, high class, whatever class you may be. It is all progressiveness. Where are we today? Where were we yesterday? And where are we going, or where are we going tomorrow? So that is what our manifesto is based on. And that is why it is All Progressives Congress. It's a party of progress. And yesterday I realized that it is APC everywhere you go. Everywhere
Okay.
you go, APC
Yeah,
for progress.
APC.
Thank you very much.
You are in power, so definitely APC is APC everywhere. But let me. I still want to get one thing, little thing. Like I said, let's compare our system to the Americans, where you are now. You have the Republican and the Democrat. Where do you see APC, or is it neutral? Is it element of both?
Now, you're talking about ideology here.
Yes.
Now, the ideology of the APC party is progressiveness.
Okay.
Now, if you want to compare with the American system, many a times with the American system of being liberal Democrats or conservative Republicans, the thing here is many a times it's traditional. What were you born into? Most
Yes.
especially for the conservative Republicans.
Yes.
That is how the ideology, and you can find this ideology in the southern part of America for the most part, southern part, midwestern part. Now, if
Yes.
you're talking about the liberal Democrats, you see them more in the cities.
Yes.
You see them more in the cities, the urban cities. You see them in states like California. You see them in states like the East Coast. You see them also in the north. So it is all it's like comparing apples to oranges, kind of. Because I get what you're saying, but speaking on ideology here.
Yes.
Now, our ideology is a progressive ideology. And in America, for example, you cannot just switch your ideology from being liberal to being conservative.
Conservative. Yeah.
Just as human beings, for example, we
Yes,
as human
exactly.
beings, I am an introvert, and all of a sudden I become an
Become an
extrovert.
extrovert. Yeah.
That is somewhat challenging. But in the Nigerian system, with the way our constitution is,
You can
you have
switch.
you can move. It's the constitution. I didn't write the constitution, and my
I know.
manifesto
I
is
think it's
progressive.
everywhere. But let me make this question. Let me break it down a little bit. Maybe this way it will be easier. If the Democrats, for instance, let me just put it in two simple ways. Sometimes they believe in a bigger state where the state controls most of the services. Social services are run by the state. And we're talking of education, they go more with free education. They are more liberal, free healthcare and all that. But you find that in the Republican state, they want the private sector to run most of this sector. You understand? They believe in more private sector economy. So what I'm trying to say now is I'm still finding it difficult. Honestly, I have the same question all across. And I say I'm finding it difficult which one we should expect. Should we have APC in government again? Because so far, let me put it, so far, the government of Buhari has done well to give us free meal. All right. And that is something I wonder why the vice president has been seriously on that. I don't know the success rate, but I know people must have benefited from it. Whether there's value for money, I don't know. But that is an example of what a socialist state will be. And I'm going to come back to the promises of the Buhari government, because I'm going to be holding APC to your government. Your government is in power. So that's something I'm going to do. So based on what my analysis, should we be looking for a bigger state or a more private sector economy?
Okay, now I understand where you are going to, but it is broken down into different facets. Now the thing is, a capitalist society, a socialist society,
Yes.
and what we actually run in Nigeria traditionally is more of a capital socialism type of society.
Do we have the social element? Is it enough?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, we have. We cannot say we don't have. We still have some parts of our sectors that is being run or governed by or monitored by the state. When I mean by the state, I mean by the government, the federal government.
Yes.
Now, with the Asiwaju administration, what is proposing and or projecting, it is still capital socialism, because Asiwaju is the king of public-private partnership. And when you look at public-private partnership, what you're basically talking about is capital socialism. So capitalism meaning, hey, private driven and all of that.
Yes.
Socialism means the government is in charge
Yes.
of those key sectors. But Ashwaju understands that we do not have what is called the purchasing power parity at this time to be able to afford what a full-blown capitalism will entail. Because when you talk about full-blown capitalism, there's a lot of exploitation. And can Nigerians, do they have the purchasing power to actually be able to manage or actually be able to purchase those goods and or services that capitalism will bring? So that is why Ashwaju is saying, you know what? I understand where we are as a people. Now, we cannot just go into full-blown capitalism, full-blown investments, investors are in charge of everything. No, we can't function that way. It will impoverish more people. So with all of his plans in place, he is then saying, you know what? We are going to run our public-private partnership. And if you go to Lagos, for example, there's actually an office of public-private partnership. So he's a master in public-private partnership.
We're coming to Lagos. We're coming to Lagos.
That's fine.
That's a good area to go to. But let's stick to this first. Thank you. I get it a little bit clearer now. So we're expecting a mixture, which is what most of the democratic, we run democratic, social democracy these days.
Progressive.
Yes.
APC
So
is progressive. Our ideology
like
is progressiveness.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's the meaning of the progressive now. Okay, I get it. But in other words, put it this way, I've not really been privileged, sorry about that, to listen to the core. So let me put it this way. In terms of the Nigerian economy, we are down as it is. How is Achiwaju planning to move us from this where we are now to a better level? I won't be comparing again because I got a big blow yesterday when I tried to compare with what Peter Obi is saying, that moving Nigeria from revenue allocation, because that is what is going on in the country, to a society where we are more productive. For instance, if you agree with me, every state in Nigeria has a lot of potential, but sometimes they're just sitting down on their asses waiting for allocation to come from the federal government. And I think, how do we change that? Because those states have a lot they can offer. See, let me put it this way. Niger State might be hungry, but Niger State, if you cultivate the land in Niger alone, it can feed the whole of Africa. Only Niger State can feed the whole of Africa. But then they go to bed hungry, waiting for allocation from the federal government. And that is really sickness. So my question would be, this economy that is down, it's not as if we don't have the resources. Let me put it this way, in the best way to put it is, Nigeria is blessed with human resources. We have the land, the natural resources. So what we need the government to do is actually get the human being to cultivate the land, and there'll be enough food. But that seems not to be the case. Everybody is moving around Nigeria, waiting for oil money to come from one part of the region and share. How is that going to change? That is the question of the day.
Well, you have asked like 10 questions in one.
Sorry about that.
You have got my brain moving in very, very different directions. But first, let me address something here. Yes. I would rather not speak on a man that is known to import mostly finished goods into a country, and he's saying that he wants to turn the country from a consumer nation to a productive nation. I'd rather not speak about such a man. That's the book of the century. Right. Now, as regards what Ashwaju has planned and or in store, if you look at the manifesto, it is clearly broken down. So that's why I'm saying, which one do you want me to speak on? Do you want me to speak on agriculture? Do you want me to speak on the economy? Do you want me to speak on security? Do you want me to speak on
security?
Power? Do you want me to speak on oil and gas? Do you want me to speak on healthcare? Do you want me to speak on education? Do you want me to speak on transportation? Do you want me to speak on digital economy, arts and entertainment, social investment programs, youth empowerment, women empowerment, foreign policy, decentralization of power, judiciary reforms? Which one do you want me to speak on? Because you've asked a lot of questions. Okay. Now, let me stick to the economy, for example.
Let's keep to the economy.
Let me just speak economy, for example.
Yes.
Now, where is Nigeria? Nigeria actually is in an improving state, because just a couple of days ago, the Federal Inland Revenue Service said that we got our highest revenue in history. That's 10.1 trillion naira, highest. It shows that there's some little improvements there. But we need to come back and say, hey, we have a problem. We know we still have a problem. We have a revenue problem. Because when you look at a country and you're trying to rate a country, you look at the Human Development Index, the HDI. And when you look at the HDI is mostly health, education, and standard of living. Now, for you to improve all of this, what you need to do is to pump in money into those systems or those key drivers to those sectors of the economy or the sectors in general. Now, Ashwaju is saying that, you know me, I'm a revenue creator, I'm a revenue generator. I'm going to generate this revenue and pump into all of these sectors. Now, where is Nigeria today? Nigeria ranks lowest or one of the lowest when it comes to revenue to GDP. We are doing between 5 to 7% of our GDP. Our GDP is about 440 billion US dollars today. And we are doing between 5 to 7% of revenue. That cannot even cater to the over 200 million people that we have. So Ashwaju in his action plan, if you go to page 11, talks about the economy, talks about all the things that needs to be done for the economy. Now, what are the things that he's talking about that needs to be done? Before you even try to move the economy, there are 5 key factors: your infrastructure, your security, your taxation, your policies, and your regulations. He's saying, you know what? We have to have a national infrastructural plan. Now, what does the national infrastructural plan mean? It simply means we have to have new road networks. He is a revenue generator, so getting the revenue should not be a problem for him. Because if you look at Lagos State, for example, from 1999 to 2021, the revenue increment has been to the tune of 10,200%, unprecedented in history of Nigeria. So he's saying, you know what, a national infrastructural plan across board, and then we are going to have a national industrial plan. This is where it gets juicier and better. He's saying in the north, you are going to have the textile industry come to life. He's going to fund that. He's going to create job opportunities. Now, if we go to the north central, because he broke it down in geopolitics, we go to north central, there are loads of mineral resources that will be harnessed, that will be mined, and that will be refined in Nigeria. Then if you go to the southeast, that is where we're going to have all the labor and all of the manufacturing. And if you come to the southwest, it's talking about the glass industry. This is somebody telling you how he wants to improve the GDP of Nigeria 10% year on year. That is the plan. That is the goal. Okay. Now, he talks about the consumer credit system. Because when we talk about the economy also, our economy, we say we're corrupt, kind of. There is some level or high level of corruption. And when you trace this corruption, for example, you look at the ministries, the departments, and the agencies. And he's saying, you know what? We're going to have a consumer credit system. So if you want to buy that car, you do not have to go and steal money, in quotes, from government coffers to buy that car. You can afford to buy that car in the space of 5-6 years by paying maybe 50,000 naira or 40,000 naira. Yes. And that is going to cut across all sectors, not just the MDAs, but all sectors in general. Now,
that's how we live here. That's how we live in. That's how we live in Europe.
Let's talk about housing, for example.
Yes.
In the case of housing, for example, he's saying that we are going to reduce the interest rate on houses. So if you want to get a house, so it's like a mortgage system.
Yes.
Because
that's right now,
because right now, if you go to the federal mortgage bank, we have a federal mortgage bank.
Okay.
You're between 5 to 9%, but it has very stringent requirements. So it's going to reduce those requirements, and it's going to work with the CBN to look for the best interest rates for the people. Because right now, as we are speaking, our interest rate was just increased last week by the CBN by 100 basic points. So now we are doing 17.5% interest rate. So if you want to go to a bank right now to get a loan, it's at least 17.5%. because bank also want to make their own profit, so it's at least 17.5%.
Yes, of course.
So these are the things he's saying he's going to do as regards to
The economy.
to push the economy. That is the economic plan in itself. Then you talk about import substitution. You know, when we talk about turning Nigeria from a consumption to a
Yes, to
production,
the production,
and all
yeah.
of that.
Yes.
For you to generate wealth, you have to create value. You have raw materials, and then you have finished goods. We are bringing in finished goods into the country. One of the presidential aspirants is a serial importer of finished goods. We know that one. He has crushed many industries, many businesses in Nigeria. I would not want to mention his name.
Okay.
What Ashwaju is saying here is that
You can.
I'm not mentioning his name.
Okay.
I'm not mentioning his name. What Ashwaju is saying here is that he is going to incentivize, saying, hey, what you are making over there and you are importing it into my country, I want you to come and make it here. I will give you some tax incentives. But then, if you are going to bring those things here, I'm going to heavily tax them if you don't bring them in here and I give you those tax incentives. You're going to put luxury tax on them. Because if we want to develop our own economy, we have to produce. But
Yes.
if you're going to be importing and you're going to be bringing those cheaper goods, because cheaper in quotes,
Yes.
then my economy is not going to move. So these are the issues, because it is when you bring those industries in, that is when you would be able to generate wealth. You'll be able to collect more corporate taxes from them. There will be employment. You generate revenue. You increase the purchasing power parity of Nigerians so that they can afford all of these goods and services that new investors and or new investments will be bringing into Nigeria. And why am I so confident about Ashwaju as regards this?
Good.
Let's look at the Lekki Free Trade Zone, for example. The Lekki Free Trade Zone is going to generate over $200 billion in revenue. And it's going to create about 200,000 jobs for Nigerians. So this man here is able to bring investors into the country. If you know the story of the Lekki Free Trade Zone very well, the water was about to swallow that part of Lagos.
Agreed.
It looked at it in the eyes and said, you Atlantic Ocean, I'm going to make money out of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a visionary leader. And there are evidences. There are evidences to when he went to sign that agreement with the business partners. Because contrary to public opinion, federal government doesn't own it. No, don't let anybody lie or deceive you. Of course, Lagos State will have to get permission from the federal government. You cannot just do anything in Nigeria without getting permission from the federal government. Like the Lekki Deep Sea Port, you have to get permission from them. And federal government, in fact, has 5% stake. Maybe that might be the agreement. Like, okay, I'm going to give you this, but 5% of revenue comes to me. That's their right. Lagos State, in fact, has 20% stake, while the investors have 75%. And you know the way concessions work. After a couple of years, you buy them back. So that is how you drag investors in. Ashwaju is also looking at our fiscal and monetary policies. Okay. Now, fiscal and monetary policies. Now, as regards to monetary policies, now, these exchange rates that we have to quit this black market rates and regular rates and official rates. It has to be normalized to prevent round tripping across board. That is what Ashwaju is saying. And now Ashwaju is now saying, you know what? Because I am doing all of this, and I have to also look at fiscal policies, government borrowing, government spending, taxes, tax waivers, and taxes. He said, I want to run a growth-based budget. Because if you look at Nigeria as a whole, whenever we run our budgets, like in 2023 now, our budget is about 21.8 trillion naira. And that budget is based on a barrel of crude oil, I think at $75.
Yes.
And it is saying at 1.6 billion barrels per day. That's how they do the math. And then the naira, he said it's 435 naira to a dollar.
Yeah.
But we all know interbank rates, naira to a dollar, dollar to a naira is already 461. And in that particular budget, 60% of that, 40% of that budget is on expenditure or the recurrent expenditure.
Big challenge.
30% of that budget is on debt financing and servicing.
Yes.
About 20, 60, 40, 30, 25% of that budget is on capital expenditure. So 1/4 of that budget is just to do projects. Then the remaining 5% is on statutory allocations, where about 20% of that 5% goes to what's it called? The House. That is the National Assembly.
Yes.
So what he's saying is that look at that kind of budget. Where is the revenue from those budgets? Where are the proceeds from those budgets? How growth based is that project? So he's saying he's going to run a budget that's like, hey, if I'm going to put this amount of money in this particular agency, in this particular industry, in this particular project, how much are you going to give me back? How much am I going to generate from this? Because that is the Lagos State model. Lagos State just signed the budget into law of 1.7 trillion naira. I think 58% is on recurrent expenditure, while 42% is on capital expenditure. So it's like, how much are you going to generate? Because Lagos State in 2021 generated about 752 billion naira in revenue in IGR. And the total IGR generated by states in Nigeria was 1.7 trillion naira. So Lagos State itself is doing 40%. These are the things that we need. We need all this money to run the economy of our dreams. So I'm just saying that this is just the economic plan in a nutshell. Just economic plan. We can go in there. You can ask me a question on it because, like I said, this is just on the economy alone. Now, if you say agriculture, you want to talk about, is it security you want to talk about? Is it power? Is it oil?
We're coming to security right now. Security is a major challenge.
Okay.
Security is a major challenge in the country. Now, Nigeria is a safe haven for all kind of banditry. Kidnapping is a story, something we hear every day. It's things we used to hear on television are now happening in our bedrooms. And it's disheartening, especially when it comes to security. How? Because when Buhari was coming, which your man, Baba, helped to push into power, Nigerians were excited. We hoped, okay, because he was a former military man, he's going to solve our problem of security challenges. 8 years down the line, we are still, in fact, we are backward. How we sure now? What is the security plan Baba have in place, Tinubu have in place to save Nigerians from where we are? You can't get on the train. Poor people must use flights, and the flight is not even safe. I'm coming to one important thing you didn't talk about. We're going to talk about oil. I don't want to talk about oil, so I'm going to put the question into the security. And then we're going to talk about this subsidy. We're going to stick on it. But let's talk about the most important thing first, security. Because if we're not alive, we won't be talking. How do we deal with that?
All right. Quickly, I just want to just bring your attention to this also, sir. You said Baba put Buhari in. That is not entirely the true story. Over 15 million Nigerians voted for Buhari
I take that back.
2015 and 2019. No, it's okay. It's a narrative out there. Baba has even said some things, but people just took it out of context anyway. I don't, it's election season, so they take things out of context.
Yeah.
But then 15 plus million Nigerians voted for President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 and 2019. Now, security.
Yes.
One thing we have to know is that in the northeast, for example, we have insurgency. In the north central, we have kidnapping. Yes. In the northeast, we have banditry.
Yes.
In north central also, we also have herdsmen and farmers clashes. Now, if we go to the south and kidnapping also, if we go to the south, in the southwest, you have kidnapping. In the south, you also have kidnapping to a certain extent, but you don't have the militancy and all of that. It's at the bare minimum right now. Now, in the southeast, you have a barrage of many different things. You have secession, you have the unknown government, you have many, many, many things like that.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I'm saying this because I'm trying to paint a narrative here.
Yes, I think it's important because
because I'm trying to
challenges.
So
Yes.
why I'm doing this is because I want you to know that Baba understands all of these hotbeds, and that's why I broke it down that way. Now, for an economy to run, for a country to be better, you need for everyone to be secured. Because according to section 14, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, it states that the primary purpose of governance or government is welfare and security. So you understand that. Now, what is he saying he's going to do? He's saying, I am going to equip the army, our security forces, police, with state-of-the-art arms and ammunition. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has done a great job, an excellent job, in fact, because he spent over $1 billion in arming our military and our army and our police. You couldn't say that for the previous administration. In fact, they siphoned all the money, $2.1 billion Dansuki Gates issue. Buhari is spending money. President Buhari is spending money. And you can hear of the great results lately. You've not been hearing of all of these things lately. Ashwadi is saying he's going to toe that line. He's going to continue with that. Now, in addition to that, he's going to have an anti-terror battalion. That is a specialized kind of force.
Okay.
That is going to be in charge of terrorist activities. We are not saying that we don't have anti-terrorism out there, but this one's going to be special.
Challenge for that.
That's going to be armed, like armed to the teeth.
Ready to deal with this.
Ready.
Okay.
Now, another joker that Baba has is that he's a proven, I will say it again, proven revenue generator. He knows how to create wealth. And that's a fact. And we understand that our our army, they are understaffed. Because it's two things, funding and understaffed. Now, Nigeria is over 200 million. We only have about 223,000 military officers, military and paramilitary. So the ones that are in the army are just 143,000 for 222 million, over 200 million people. When Egypt has a population of 100 million and they have over about 1 million army and about almost 400,000 paramilitary, Baba is saying we have to employ more people.
Okay.
Ashwaju is saying that we have to train them. State-of-the-art training. We have to ensure that they are well taken care of from a welfare standpoint. Because these people face danger, frontline danger. They face it while we are sleeping at night. We always tell them, thank you for your service. So we need to do better as regards welfare. And Ashwaju is saying, yes, we are going to pump in more money for that.
Yes,
we're
going to cut it a little bit so that I can get out of the way. A lot of people may have questions for you. So my questions are a little bit many. So I want us to quickly talk about them. So
I didn't talk about another one because I'm not talking about the police.
Yes, I'm coming to that because I'm going to ask, with the challenges of the Nigerian police, one, they are not many. They said they are not enough compared in terms of numbers. But how about the state police? Is that something that's what you're thinking about? Because Lagos has done well. Lagos on their own, they've had their own security network, which is, we won't say it's equal to the state police, but they are prepared already. You understand? How come? Will he come into power? Should we expect?
He's somebody that did the one in Lagos. I agree.
For office, not taking that from him.
The person, because a lot of people will say, oh, Lagos State was formerly the capital of Nigeria. Did you know what Lagos looked like pre-Asiwaju? Go on YouTube. Everyone, go on YouTube and go and look at Oshodi. The way people were walking, front and back and front. And go and look at Oshodi today.
Yes.
Go and look at refuse dump. Refuse. The way refuse used to be, and you have all those truck pushers and all that come and carry refuse. This was this man that brought the first dump truck into Nigeria. These are facts. And there are even video evidences to this. So why am I saying that? I'm saying this because he did what you're talking about as regards security in Lagos State. He already has a template. He's going to do that in Nigeria. Now, this is it. Asiwaju understands the problem of policing. And he said in his manifesto, he's going to fund them more. He's going to make sure they are better equipped. He's going to make sure he's going to take them from VIPs and use NSCDC. That's the National Security Defense Corps. So now, why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this because for state policing, he cannot do it by himself.
Yes.
It has to go through the legislature.
That's a good question. That's one.
It has to go through legislature because
if we want to, that will become an agenda. We want to know if it's on the table.
Now the thing is, state policing has always been on the table. Now, if people are really paying attention to what is going on, there was a constitutional amendment recently that they just sent the bill. They just sent them to law for Buhari to sign, to assent to. There's an issue going on. The federal government is saying that the state should give local government autonomy. States are saying, federal government, give us state police. So now, in the constitutional amendments that was sent to President Buhari to sign, they've taken out the autonomy, the local government autonomy. Like, oh, we are not going to even deal with that. So tell me how state policing is going to come. Because for you to even make any constitutional amendments, all 36 houses in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's in the states.
Yes.
About 2/3 of them have to pass it to agree or assent to it
before we can make that changes.
Yes. So when we talk about state policing, are we talking about regional policing? Are we talking about local government policing? We begin to muddy the waters. Do we even have the funding for it?
Ayodeji, but the question, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you there because one thing is there was a constitutional conference in place which would have resolved all this issue, but it was the same APC government that cut it short. Buhari was not ready to address it.
Which one are you talking about, sir? Which constitutional conference? Which constitutional is it confirmed in 2014 by the Jonathan administration?
Yes.
Why didn't he implement it? Why didn't he push it forward?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And that is why I'm explaining. That's what we just did a constitutional review recently. Like we just did it like early last year. Where they told Nigerians, they told you and I, go and send these things to your reps. What you want in the constitution, what you want to be amended in the constitution. How many Nigerians paid attention to it?
That's awareness. That's awareness. Some of them are sleeping.
Yeah, so now we're talking about state policing here. And I'm telling you that local states are saying that give us state police. Local federal government is saying no, give local government autonomy. And nobody's seeing eye to eye. So state police is my principal is saying he's going to focus on what he has on ground now, the community policing that he has, because he's a realist. He doesn't waste his time in things that are not productive.
Okay, wait, is he avoiding it because it cannot be done or because it's not the right thing to do? Because there are two things here.
No, it is currently being, is it not currently being addressed?
Yes, okay.
There's no headway. Now I'm telling you, it's a complex matter when we talk about state policing. That's why I said, what about local government policing? Who will fund state policing? Who will fund it? When we cannot even fund the 370,000 police. Do you know normally by standard median, you're supposed to have 300 police per 100,000 people. Nigeria has 185 per 100,000 people. That is about 370,000 people. 370,000 police officers. Out of 370,000 police officers, about half About half of them, that is 18,500 of them. They are already VIPs. They are already doing. They are already protecting.
They are serving VIPs.
They are protecting VIPs. They are protecting government officials.
Yes.
And we also were culprits also, because when we come to Nigeria, we'll say, oh, go and meet one DPO. Oh, yeah, take this amount. Give me 3 police officers. Give me 2 police officers. Police want to even be working for private people because they know at the end of the month they'll give them something.
They get more money, yeah.
So those are the issues. That's what we are talking about. Now look at the kind of some kind of governors that we have. Imagine if they have state police. So are we talking about regional police? Because now there can be arguments. I could say, you know what? Let it be regional. Let it be what's it called? Geopolitical areas. Southeast, south, southwest. And now we are divided by tribe in Nigeria. Like we have over 200, like maybe even 500 tribes. So that's what I'm saying. Is it regional police we want? Is it state police we want? Or is it local government police we want?
So your principal is saying that it's going to go with the vigilante setup or the local police.
No, it's going to go, yes. It's going to empower them.
Yes.
Because that is, we have Lagos State Security Watch. Because
yes.
he talked about Lagos State security.
Yes.
Lagos State is the most secure state in Nigeria.
I agree. I agree.
In Lagos State, you can walk 4 a.m. in the morning. You go to the club, you go to do whatever you want to do in Lagos State.
That is not obtainable even in the capital. I agree with you.
Yeah. And you can't do that in Abuja. You can't do that.
You cannot.
It is somebody that put that system in place.
See, because of the
he didn't use the person that put it there didn't use state police. No, I understand. Wait, the person that put it in there didn't use state police now. He used the resources that he had at the time, or that Lagos State has now to fix that problem. I'm not saying that Lagos State doesn't have its own security challenges. I'm not saying that, no, but somebody actually put some plan, like, okay, the RRS, for example, put that into place, empower Lagos State security, Lagos State neighborhood watches, empower vigilantes, because he knows how to get the job done. He's done it before. It's not what I will do, like some other, I will not mention their names, will say, what I will do. If you see what I will do, what did you do when you were governor of that state in the southeast? What did you do when you were the vice president? What do you do when you were the vice president?
Ayodeji, you know what I like? Tonight, I am looking at you. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you and I'm wondering, why don't we have a young man like you for president? Why? I'm not going to say this. Sorry about this. Why are we going for an older man who mentally and physically cannot compete with you? Let's put it this way. Age is a good thing, but we do know that as we age, our capabilities go down. I'm 55 years old now. I don't want to do things a 23 years old will be doing. I can't compete with them. So, and because of the enormous challenges of the Nigerian states, especially right now, don't you think Baba is a little bit too old to face all this stress?
Okay.
Don't you think so? Because I wish it's somebody, because I'm talking to you now. You can sit down here with me for 2 hours, 3 hours talking. And look at, you have been able to put these things in perspective. People can understand APC better from you than from Baba right now. If you may not agree with me, but that is it.
I don't agree with you 100%. Okay. Actually, I do agree with you 100%. You know why? Because as a leader or as the head of an organization, all that you have to do is to give your subordinates the tools to succeed.
Okay.
Are you okay? Is this what you need? Okay. Do you need to get more money? Do you need to get more resources? Because all of these things are driven by key performance indicators, KPIs, and use key operating parameters to change and define the KPIs. All Baba needs to do is to sit and look at the KPI. How much did you make today? What were you supposed to make? Why didn't you make it? Now I trust you to go, because Baba has a skill. I don't know where he got that skill from, of being able to know how to get talent, nurture talent, point at that talent, mentor the talent, and knows how to get people in synergy to work for a common goal. He knows how to delegate.
And I'm going to come back to that. as we move on. But I'm going to jump in on the very sensitive topic and something I don't agree with, but I'm going to bring it in. Before I ask you this question, I want to make it on a note personally that I know Baba to be a very detribalized somebody.
Absolutely.
When he was the governor of Lagos State, he didn't pick only people from Lagos. His wife is actually from Delta State.
Absolutely.
A Christian, Baba is a Muslim. That isn't, it is top. They say your wife must be a Muslim or stuff like that. So, but that being said, sir, Ayodeji, Nigeria is a deeply divided country. When I say deeply divided, we can even forgive tribes, religion. We are so sensitive to religion. If that is, and if you agree with me, Nigeria is 50-50, Muslims and Christians. How could you on earth decide to pick a Muslim deputy in a deeply divided society like ours?
Okay, let me do this here. I'm coming. Because you've asked two questions. You've touched tribe and you've touched religion. So let me start with thanking you for the compliment of Baba, because in fact you complimented Baba. Thank you. By saying that he's a highly detribalized person. And there's another thing you add. He's a highly religious person. In fact, I'm not saying he's a Muslim, but he doesn't care what religion. He's liberal when it comes to religion, because his wife is an ordained pastor at the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Now, in Lagos State, the current boss in charge of budget, the finance and budget in Lagos State, is from your state, Delta State.
Are you serious?
Yes. Go and check his name. Is it Sam Okugbe or something like that? I can't remember his name, but it's
no. I will trust him to do that. I trust him to do that.
That's the man in charge of the money in Lagos State right now as we are speaking. He's from Delta State. Ben Akabueze worked in Ashwaju's regime during his time. Ben Akabueze is the debt management office boss right now as we are speaking. You have Joe Igbokwe. Joe Igbokwe is an Anambra man. He's the special assistant, senior special assistant on drainage and all of that in Lagos. Because Lagos State, for example, because when you talk about, I don't want to get into drainages and all of that, but I'm just saying that Baba is a detribalized person. So that's the more reason why you want him there. Because Lagos State...
But picking a Muslim...
we're going to get to that because it's an hypocritical statement. It's an hypocritical statement. With all due respect. You know why I say it's hypocritical? In 2000 and was it 15 or 11? In 2011, yes. The flag bearer of the Action Congress, ACN, I think we're ACN then. Action Congress Nigeria was Nuri Badu. His deputy was Fola Adeola. I want people that are listening to us or that may listen to us to go and investigate if those people were Christians or they were Muslims or they were Christian Muslims. They were Muslims. Nigerians did not complain. So why is it now that we are complaining?
But when we didn't see the prospects of Ribadu winning the election.
Oh, you see the hypocrisy with Nigerians.
Maybe we didn't see that.
You see the hypocrisy with Nigerians. I think that answers the question itself, because at the end of the day, are we going to sit here and keep talking about religion? Okay, now we have a president that is Muslim. We have vice president that is Christian. And we are still having issues of insecurity.
Yes.
We are still having all the other issues that religion divides Nigeria. If I have food on my table, if I have a job, if I can go to point A to point B safely, why should I care about what religion?
We'll come to that.
No, in fact, when we say Muslim, we are being hypocritical the more. You know why I say we are being hypocritical the more?
Okay.
What about the traditionalists? Where do we put the traditionalists?
I know.
Nigeria has three religions.
That our own religion is rubbish.
No, Nigeria has three religions: Christian, Muslim, and traditional religion. Let traditionalists also complain. We need them to come. I'm advocating for them. I'm advocating for them on your platform. We need traditionalists.
Agree.
Every time we be
They
throwing
need
this
a place.
religion question.
We're going to come about what we think, me and you personally, on the way forward. But let's come to one important thing right now. If you're in Nigeria, my brother, if you're in Nigeria, there's no fuel. Now, that is even a simple way to look at it. It has been, in fact, it is clear that the oil subsidy is a safe haven for criminals. They are siphoning the Nigerian economy. Somebody bring in 1 liter, he said they bring in 20 tons. Collect our money for that 20 tons. And you can't tell that Nigeria is consuming that quantity of oil. For what? What do we do with it? Today, there is no fuel. This is the same APC government, sir. Are you differentiating Baba from Baba, Che Baba from Baba, or they are the same?
These allegations, there are plenty of allegations that are leveling against the APC. Because when we talk about this fuel subsidy, it started from, I think, IBB's time.
But why did he stop it? Why did
No. Let us know. When we are talking about, let us understand these things very well.
Yeah, I agree.
I share part of your sentiments. In fact, you will hear that Nigeria consumes 65 million liters per day, 55 million liters per day. Yes. But I will tell you with all sincerity, we are not consuming up to 10 million liters per day.
Thank you.
You know why I'm saying so? I say so because I think it was last year we had an incident where we had the out of spec gasoline that came into Nigeria that had higher methanol. They said it was 100 million liters of material that they brought in. But it took us, if it's 100 million liters and we are consuming about 55 million liters per day, my math tells me that by 2 days max, it should have turned over.
Yes.
But then it lingered for 2 weeks. So when you divide that by 14 days, I said, you know what? Let me just say 10 million liters.
Thank you.
No, so I agree with your sentiment. I also agree with your sentiment that they will bring in 5 million liters and then they will say it's 10 million liters they brought in. I agree with all of that. And that is why the federal government said, you know what? It is only NNPC that will be the sole importer of petroleum products. Yeah, that's the new policy now.
Is that the new policy?
Yeah, NNPC is the only one that imports, the sole importer. Now, with NNPC being the sole importer, that doesn't mean they will not contract it. It's being contracted. Because when this methanol issue happened, they were bringing all the different contractors. And you know the funny thing about those contractors? All 3 of them that are the owners are from 3 major tribes in Nigeria. You have Igbo, you have Yoruba, you have Hausa there. So now I am not saying that they are the ones like the fuel.
Yes, no, but it's good to state that clearly. It's good.
Yeah. Because there's something. Well, let me tell you something about we in the APC that I'm just sharing a little bit with you here. We know what
knowledgeable young man. I will tell you that.
We know what the problems are. We understand the problems, but we are not emotional beings. We are problem solvers. So when people talk and start talking about problem, do you even understand the problem? Do you even know what you're talking about? We know what the problems are and we are looking for ways to solve the problem. Right now, you have a situation where the NNPC imports the material into Nigeria. We don't have enough national depots, that is tank farms. Now you have private tank farms. You store them there. Now, the independent marketers, IPMAN, independent marketers of Association of Nigeria, or something like that, they now have to go to these private depots to go and buy. Now, there's going to be price increments. Now, that price increment, those ones who are going to take it to their gas stations or filling stations, like call it in Nigeria, and they also want to ramp up the price. Because remember, federal government is going to say, it came in at this price. This is the amount of subsidy I'm going to pay for it. Now they are saying, no, we bought it actually at this price. That is where the issues are. Or those are where the issues are. So it's like we don't have the money to go and buy it, because if we buy it, we're running at losses. Asiwaju is going to solve all of those problems. Remember what he said in Abeokuta, and I heard now in Nigeria, he immediately made those statements. We have been seeing fuel in Nigeria. the lines are easing out in Nigeria. That should even tell Nigerians that this man can solve problem.
Okay.
This man just said something.
We will come to that.
Hold on.
Problem solving.
Hold on.
The
man just said that.
Anything can be in Lagos.
Sir, wait.
I don't, because
Sir,
you know
wait,
what?
Sir, let me finish my statement. Sir, let me finish my statement. You are the one that talked about fuel subsidy. Let's talk about this fuel subsidy. That's all. Because Baba said he's going to remove fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy has to go. And that is why Baba is the person that should, Asiwaju Amebola Tinubu should be the person in charge. Because he knows how to put food on the table of Nigerians. He's done it in Lagos. He knows how to ensure that there's revenue coming. He knows how to attract investment. So let me tell you something. Do you know that he should know he's not even supposed to even be campaigning? Just say, look at Lekki Free Trade Zone Nigerians. That's all he needs to say. You should even run. You should even You should even be campaigning. Just look at Lekki Free Trade Zone.
Credit.
So now, the point I'm making is
take some of the credit from him. Some of the credits are real. I'm not yet to.
No, the credits are not real. The opposing people, the rival people say no. They say no.
That's not to say we don't have major concerns, because some of them I'm gonna say now. My personal challenge, because we are now almost an hour into the broadcast, and this is a personal one. Thank God you live in the United States, and the only difference between us and those people in Nigeria is there is no slavery here. Let me put it that way. A country where people are paid 30,000 naira as minimum wage, that is slavery by all definition. And this same country, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria goes on with a minimum of 100 million every month. The governor, my governor's security vote is 2-point-something billion. 30,000 naira to a human being that goes to work Monday to Friday for 30 days in a month. And he sometimes wouldn't even get paid. I said it again and again, that there's slavery in our land. How is Baba going to turn that around? Minimum wage.
I'm coming.
In the United Kingdom, we don't get, if you pay somebody below the minimum wage, you go to prison. It's a prisonable offense. And America, I know that you guys are well paid, but this is not the case in Nigeria. How can we be preaching for people who don't even take that as number one agenda? This between me and you, sir.
Okay, all right. Now, as regards security votes, that one I have no say in that one, because all states receive security votes, and they are called security votes for a reason. And those security votes, the governor of the state can do whatever they wish to do with the money. That is how it's written.
And we're talking some serious money.
But it is called security votes, right? Now, with security votes, you're supposed to improve.
Where's the logic in it? Where's the logic in it? If people are paying 30,000 naira and my governor is going with 2-point-something billion.
Sir, you are asking me questions that is when we took power in APC.
Okay.
You're asking me questions.
The question I ask is, what is...
I'm not done, because, sir, you made another statement, sir. You said a senator is taking 100 million. Good. Now, let us look at the 2023 budget. Okay. 2023 budget, 21.8 trillion naira is the full budget. Out of that budget, the money that is allocated to the House, the National Assembly, everything joined together, clerks, aides, secretaries, whatever it is, then the senators, then the Federal House of Rep, Speaker, everybody, is to the tune of about 230 to 260, 270 billion, sir. So I don't know. All these things that I say, you can fact check it. I don't know how one will be any 100 million in a month, and you multiply that by 109, because we have 109 senators. Then you have not talked about reps. So that money, I don't think that is a very true statement, sir. Now, I don't know their salary, because there are some schools of thought that will tell you that they earn up to $30,000 when you add everything together per month. Some will tell you it's $20,000.
Should it be secret from us? Is that in fact,
No, it's no secret, sir. Sir, it's not. That's why I just broke it down for you that this is their salary. I just broke it down for you that in the 2023 budget, their money is like 1.3% of the total budget. So 21.8 trillion is 1.3. In fact, I did this research, wasn't it like 3 weeks ago, because I know questions like this will come.
Thank you.
I know I'm always prepared for you. I'm prepared for all of you.
Are you prepared? I can tell that. I know.
We're prepared for all of you. I know it will come. I'm a
Yes.
Nigerian too. We are all Nigerians. We know
Yes.
the kind of questions that we ask ourselves. Now let's talk about minimum wage, sir. Sir, can states afford to even pay that 30,000 minimum wage without borrowing? That is the question, sir. That's why I was talking about IGRs. That's what I was talking about, states being able to generate revenue. That is the meaning of that statement. Lagos State can comfortably and confidently pay that. And if Lagos State pays more.
They was paying when the rest states were moving.
Yeah, Lagos State pays more actually. Now remember that it was this same Lagos State that Baba Obasanjo did not pay federal allocations for local government. A lot of Nigerians seem to forget. Now, how many states can live without? Do you know what Baba Obasanjo wanted to do to Lagos State? He wanted to crush Lagos State's economy. He wanted to crush Lagos State's growth because maybe Asiwaju wasn't playing ball with him. This is the kind of man that we need, that he said, to hell with your federal revenue. I will think inward. And that was how he made LIRS autonomous in 2006. And Lagos State revenue just went astronomical. So we need for all of these different states to be able to generate revenue, because it's by the revenue you generate that people to pay more salaries, be able to incentivize the people. So that question should go to state governors. Let's talk about minimum wage. And it should also go to federal government also. And today, federal government has in 2022, FIRS said they made about 10.1 trillion naira, highest in history. From taxes and levies and all of those things, FIRS. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because you need to improve your revenue to be able to pay salaries. And we have a proven revenue generator in Asiwaju. So why are we wasting time? And let me now go back to one question that you asked, because I didn't even finish. You said, oh, look at you, young man. It seems like you know one or two things or this or that. They say, waiting pikin, no see. Where he stand for on top of Iroko tree. Old man, where he sit down, he dey see am well.
Okay.
So what I'm saying at the end of the day is that this man has seen it, has done it all. And he's saying, you know what? I did it in Lagos State. I'm confident that I can do it for Nigeria. In Nigeria, you say Lagos State is former capital, but what was Lagos State pre-1999, and where is Lagos State today? The architect of
I agree with you. Ayodeji, I agree with you that the man is experienced. He's been able to do that before, and possibly he can do it again. But my concern is this: I think those of us that are Christians, when we went to read the Bible, they said in the beginning God created the heaven and earth, and God began to speak, and things begin to happen. But Baba has not been able to sit. That's why I was worried. I'm sitting down with you. I'm relaxed. I am confident that I can throw anything at you. But in almost of this serious interview, Baba have not really been able to stand and answer this question. He came to London here, and he was passing on questions to people. That is something that is really not something we want to see. We want the president to tell us. If I have concern when the president cannot tell us what it is. I'm listening to you now. I'm impressed. Tonight, you've made me fall in love with APC. Do I have issues? Because I'm going to talk about equity to end it. But I have not been able to stand because I'm taking you on what you said. I don't agree that an older man can necessarily have experience, but sometimes they should be in the advisory and let the young people do the wrongs.
Okay, so now let me put it this way.
Yes.
There is a grave misconception about what happened in Chatham House in London.
Okay. I couldn't make it. Yes.
In Chatham House, when you go there to speak, you are going there to sell yourself. And Asiwaju is going there to sell him, went there to sell himself, and the team he's going to be working with. He's also telling Nigerians, hey, no man makes an island. My strength are my people. My strength are my people. And I'm showing you guys, this is how I'm going to run my government. A government of diversity, a government of inclusivity, a government of equity, a government of strength, a government of togetherness.
I'm going to bring other people in now, but I'm going to.
No, I know. I'm not done. No, I'm not done. That's Chatham House.
Okay.
He said, okay, Baba, he cannot sit down for interviews, answer questions, this, that. Now, let us be truthful with ourselves. In that same London, he did BBC interview. I'm not done. Baba is the most traveled candidate in these presidential elections. It's a fact. They say it's old. They say health. They say, like, they've not seen his health report before.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's healthier than them. They will throw all those things. Do you know how many town halls Baba has done? Speaking to key stakeholders, speaking to the masses. Baba has spoken to the Lagos State Economic Council. He has spoken to the, last week he spoke to the Construction Association of Nigeria. He's spoken with farmers in Nasarawa State. He went to Kano to do town hall. He went to Kaduna to do town hall. He went to Imo State to do town hall. He has done many town halls in Abuja. He has done town halls in Lagos State. What do you people want again? He's talking to people. He's answering questions. It's because people, this is what happens. Social media, they post videos like memes. They'll glitch it. They will cut and paste and send it. That's what you see. But if you really want to see him speak, go and search. It is there. When he's speaking on the economy, when he's speaking on oil and gas, when he's speaking on security, oh my God, this man is a very brilliant man. Very brilliant.
I enjoy what Baba said when they ask him about climate change. Baba said we are hungry. When you're hungry, you don't
Now, I'm glad. I know you say you want to bring people in, but I'm glad you even talked about climate change.
Yes.
A lot of Nigerians don't even understand that climate change statement. But I think you got the statement that he made.
Yes.
From what you are saying, it seems like you got the statement. He talked
it.
about the church rat eating poisoned Holy Communion. So for people that don't understand that statement, I will explain to you just in 1 minute.
Yes.
Now, Africa in general, we have 54 registered countries in the AU. Africa is not industrialized per se, only contributes about 3% of the greenhouse gases in the whole world. Now, because of climate change, the powers that be say, you know what, Africa, you cannot industrialize. Because if you industrialize, you're going to use fossil fuel. Okay, you're not going to industrialize. Okay, we're going to have this $100 billion we are going to give you. Out of that $100 billion, they've only given Africa $12 billion. And that $12 billion they are giving Africa as a whole. They are giving it as loans. So you don't want me to industrialize myself. In fact, I contribute less than 3% of the greenhouse gases. That is the gases that are eating up the ozone layer. Okay, give me money you don't want to give me. The little one you gave me, you say it's loan, you borrow me the money. What do you want me to do? Okay. In fact, you know what? I want to industrialize. Anything I want to happen, let it happen. That is it pretty much.
I like that.
Pretty much.
That
is the layman example. I do not want to go into technicalities.
No, we got it. In fact, we're gonna come to foreign policy if the time allows us, because I have a lot of time. I like Ayodeji. I've never had a brilliant time with somebody from the APC like this. To be honest, you make my day. In the sense that Baba have there's a lot of negative publicity about him, but tonight I think you've been able to answer most of the questions, and I'm really impressed. But I'm going to quickly run to two things really. I don't know where to start from. I'm concerned with equity. I'm from South, so I'm not in this equation. But Nigeria can be said to be divided into three major tribes. We have the Hausas, we have the Yorubas, and the Igbos. You agree with me that the Yorubas have been there, Hausas have been there, and we're coming back again. We're coming back to the Yorubas. What about the other ethnic tribe? In fact, to be fair to them, Goodluck Jonathan, to us, is from South-South, but to the Southeast, they've been there, and it's like every time things jump past them. If they didn't have a good candidate, we can understand. But this time they have somebody like Peter Obi. Why are we not giving them that chance to have that inclusiveness which you mentioned on this show?
Okay. Which answer which one do you want me to give you?
Do you want
me to give you historic answer? Because historic answer may stir people's emotions. Because when I say historic answer, I'm not going to talk as I'm advocating for Baba Asiwaju here. It's just me speaking. Okay. But if you want me to speak based on what we are talking about today, which I feel comfortable in speaking like advocating for Baba Asiwaju today. I just have one question to ask my Igbo brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Why are you serving PDP?
Excuse me?
What has PDP done for you? Why do you keep giving PDP block votes? You've been giving PDP block votes since 1999. In fact, a lot of people don't know this. Do you know the PDP has not lost any southeastern or south states since 1999?
They will do it this time. I don't know.
I think they
will lose it this time.
But we'll see what will happen in Ebonyi State. I'm not saying anything, no. We'll see what will happen in Ebonyi State. We'll see what will happen in Imo. We'll see what will happen in We'll see what will happen in Bayelsa. And we'll see what will happen in Delta State. Delta State is very interesting. We'll see what happened in Edo State. We'll see what will happen there.
I think this election is going to be interesting. I agree with you.
I agree with you. So the point I'm trying to make here is that you serve somebody for 24 years, because now it's 24. 1999 plus 24 is 2023. Vice president, they no give you. Presidency, they no give you. Come to APC. Come and play the politics the right way. Come and play. It's not me that said this, so it's Professor Chukwuma Soludo that said Unzobu politics. Because you do the true Emilokon. The true Emilokon is our turn, the Igbos. It's your turn, yes. Why has PDP not giving you? Why has PDP not giving you? That's all I'm saying. Why has PDP not giving you? For 24 years. And you are still serving them. That's what I'm saying. Come and join us. Give us these votes. We'll sit down at the round table and we'll do what is fair and just. Equity, justice, and fairness. Look at us, for example. No, typical example. In APC, North, you do your 8 years. South, you do your own 8 years. This current dispensation we are getting into, we all know what happened now. There was some skirmishes that, oh yes, we are going to use somebody from the Northeast. The Northern governor stood up and said, no, we'll do it the way we are supposed to do it. It is going to the South. And there was Asiwaju Amimbola Tinubu. Now let's go to the PDP. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now
I can't wait to throw that question back.
The man that was supposed to get it, that ran away to Labour Party. Because Labour Party is for failed PDP politicians. That's why Labour Party is a dump site for failed PDP politicians. So it's a fact. I'm not lying now. It's a fact now. It's a fact. I'm not lying. Doyo Okupe is there now. The chief money launderer, convicted felon, is there. He's there now. You have who do you have? You have their main one. You have the main one there. You have the one that is ZLP's. I think ZLP's senatorial candidates. Is in Ekiti, Abi, Osun, or Ondo State, and is not their chief spokesperson. You have that one there. You have many of them that are from PDP.
I can't wait to have you with the Labour Party and the PDP on the platform on the debate next week. I am waiting to have that.
So sir, this is how it gets interesting. According to PDP's constitution,
yes,
this mandate that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has is supposed to be for the Labour Party presidential candidate.
Agreed.
He's the owner.
Yes.
The question you should be asking PDP people, why didn't you give it to him? Why did you break your why did you circumvent your constitution? And it's not me that said it, it's Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State that said it, because what I'm trying to do here, so they don't say Ayodeji Bakari said something. I'm just paraphrasing what the are saying.
You're cool.
So it's not me that said it. And they said, you know what? Okay, now a northerner has won. Now, according to the agreement, we said the national chairman must go till tomorrow. Now we have G5. And I want to see if I want to challenge my Southeastern brothers and sisters. Give PDP your vote again, as usual. Give them your vote again, as usual. Shebi Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has promised that after if he wins, should he win 2023, he will only do 4 years and add it over to a Southeasterner. Come and join APC. So when we do North South, it will touch everybody. We are progressive. Give your votes to us. Stop serving PDP that's of no value. PDP of no value. Tell me, okay, look at the second Niger bridge. They've been promising second Niger bridge since Shehu Shagari's time. Shehu Shagari was 1979 to 1983. That's when, even before then, because the second Niger bridge came to being after our civil war in 1970.
Yes.
July 1967 to January 1970. And then they started touting second Niger bridge. They touted it. During Jonathan's time, they said, oh, they have a plan. They just started some little work on it. Like, I'm not done. Some little work. Buhari said, you know what? Let us unentangle this project. Buhari that they accuse, that they say is Jubri, or they said, okay, 5%, or whatever. He unentangled it. And within 4 years, he has built the second Niger bridge. During this Christmas period, my Igbo brothers and sisters went on the second Niger bridge to and fro. What are we talking about here?
Okay, now that you talk about Buhari, I'm coming to the last thing so that I can bring some people in. They all waiting. They want to slap me. But let me ask this question.
No problem. I'm here for them.
On 2 areas.
Yes, sir.
Education and health tourism. I want to give a statistics so that we put this in perspective. It's annoying me. In the United Kingdom alone, the numbers of Nigerians in school here will be minimum of 10,000. 10,000 is like rubbish. But let me just put it that way. The average school fees for a foreigner in the United Kingdom is £11,000 times 10,000. If you multiply that, only the school fees alone, we're not talking of the ticket money, the maintenance and all in the UK. This money is enough to revive the Nigerian education system. The APC government didn't say anything nice, or they keep building private schools. Number 2, health. Buhari is sick. He has been spending our money on foreign treatment. Fact. And yet, the APC government could not even declare a state of emergency on our health system. Like I said, we have the human resources. We have the doctors. They are now leaving the country to go and work. Why our treatment is going out? In fact, in the UK, my doctor is a Nigerian. My accountant is a Nigerian. They are all Nigerian, the same blood, but they are here. You're not leaving Nigeria to come to take the same treatment from a Nigerian. Is that not a shame on the APC government?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So I don't know where to even address this. In fact, I think that in 2021 or so, I think the UK gave student visas to the tune of over 60,000. I think it was over 60,000 UK student visas.
Good.
So, and Nigerians are spending, it's true, Nigerians are spending billions of dollars when it comes to educational tourism. And we know that the educational system is going, can be improved. But I want us to be fair on the Buhari administration. Why do I say so? Okay. I say so because the Buhari administration has gone through 2 economic recessions. They've gone through an oil price slump, where the government, where oil price was selling at less than $0. Oil price sold for less than $0.
Yes.
Now, the Buhari administration also is going through a pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. The Buhari administration also is going through the Russia-Ukraine war that has jacked up inflation.
Yes.
Everywhere around the world, everyone is screaming and crying.
I agree.
IMF
From
said
COVID to the Ukraine
IMF
war.
said in fact that over 1/3 nations are going to go in economic recession. So remember, like I said initially, human development capital. You need revenue to fix healthcare. You need revenue to fix education. And you need revenue to fix cost and standard of living. And we have Asiwaju here to come and solve these problems. Buhari has tried his best, like he said, to hold the fort. Imagine if it were the previous administration that was running Nigeria during when all this turmoil came in. No, you two, you laugh, sir. You two, you know why you're laughing, sir. You know why you're laughing?
I know.
Because that's why the PDP people, there's something that they would never, they always run away from. Do you know that during Jonathan's regime, President Goodluck Jonathan, from 2010 to 2015, Nigeria made revenue of oil, revenue of over 454 billion US dollars. And during that period, Dr. Okonjo Iweala was saying we are borrowing money to pay salaries. So my point here is Nigerian government, you have to have revenue to do all of this, and the revenues are coming. Now, let's even talk about healthcare, for example. A lot of people don't know that primary healthcare is run by local governments. According to Schedule 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, primary healthcare that's why you have all these health centers. Asiwaju says is going to revamp and revitalize them.
Okay.
Asiwaju is saying for tertiary, like every state in Nigeria must have a standard, a top of the line tertiary hospital. In Nigeria, for example, LASUT is number 1 when it comes to, that's Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, is number 1 when it comes to tertiary university or tertiary health hospital.
Yeah, yes.
LASUT is number 1.
Possible. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done it in Lagos. And also, he's now saying that for every geopolitical zone, we are going to have a specialist hospital. We have specialist hospitals in Lagos. So Asiwaju is saying, I'm going to put all of this infrastructure in place. When it comes to education, one of the things, when we talk about education, we talk about funding. Asiwaju is saying, we are going to fund education. We are going to sell bonds so that people will pay less to go to school. No kid is going to go out, because you see this mess that we are in, education. They will not tell you it's PDP. Do you know that this ASU strike was a deal that was signed during Baba Obasanjo's regime, an article? $3.3 billion US. It was during Baba Obasanjo's regime that they reduced the budget, educational spending, from 11.2% of total budget to 1.8% during their time. Look at the kind of damage that has been caused on our health. And I'm talking about educational sector, and we have to manage.
Okay, let me quickly allow some people to now throw questions in, because they're going to kill me. We have a few minutes to the end of the show.
Okay, thank you very much.
I want to quickly allow some of my guests my people here. They are my team. They're on the platform right now. But I'm going to start with this young man, Rufus. I'm going to start with you tonight.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for our Ayodele here? Brilliant, exceptional young man. Handsome too.
Yes, sir. Let me commend the young man. He's a very bright young man. But there's one question I want to ask him now. Is that young man, is he too young to run?
He said,
are you too young to run?
I can't see you. I'm just.
It's actually, these are people that are calling. They are
okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I also have other questions for you.
No. Actually, the
1999.
The 2007.
Okay. Year 2001. I was in Lagos State. I've been in Lagos for like 15 years. In fact, I'm an Yoruba man, and secondly, I'm more or less a Yoruba man. There is a parable I want to make to you now. Yoruba said, there's one parable Yoruba make. I will make that parable to you. Afobaje King Joba. A kingmaker cannot become king. Baba is too old for this race. Baba is trying to run with those people out there. I must tell you the truth. Baba from 2015 to 2019, you can't compare that the same Baba from that time till now. It's not the same as Shiwaju. That is the truth. Right. Baba from 1999
ask your question, make it straight. So you're saying that Baba is literally, it's not the same Baba of that time who did the great job in Lagos that we have now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He get it.
Do you know what?
And you try
no, do you know what I'm saying?
The same
sir.
question I threw to him. Thank you, sir. I asked him, young man, I would be proud to have a young man like Ayodele as our president. This is my thought.
Sir, please don't be offended. Let me because I know Asiwaju very well. Asiwaju single-handedly granted interview in Galazin TV, in TVC, in MITV, in Alausa. I always listen to him those years. I've been in Lagos so many years. I understand Yoruba very well. He's a very vibrant man. Baba now went to Chatham House in London. He was even allocated question to intellectuals. Baba is not fit for that business. Baba should have endorsed Oshibanjo or Fashola. Those are the people Baba should have backed up.
But Baba Ayodeji is more interesting for me, to be honest, because I look at the level. To be fair, you know.
What are you saying? Baba should have endorsed Oshibanjo, not Baba going to that position, bro.
Okay,
let's be sincere. Baba is obligated because Baba has taken upon himself that if by fall he want to become Nigeria president, it's a pity. I feel for him.
Okay, so let's respond to it. Thank you very much. I think it's a legitimate concern. To be fair to the young man, he just believes that Baba is really not the same person again.
I understand.
And you know the truth. Funny enough, the boy said something that touched me. My candidate for Nigerian president would have been, if at all, is coming to the Yoruba, would have been Baba Fashola. You understand? And again, that opportunity happened. And I'm meeting Ayodeji tonight. I'm saying to myself, why is Ayodeji not the president? I've asked this question again before. Now the question is back here. Over to you, Ayodeji.
Quick one. I think we've addressed the Chatham House conversation.
Yeah, you've done that, so we don't need to go back to that yet.
Yes, and I will hope. I'll just say this: Chatham House is where you go and sell yourself and your candidacy. It's not a question and answer place. And he all was just saying, hey, you know what? This is my team. This is how I'm going to run my government.
Fair enough.
Now, secondly, let us be very fair. And let us be honest with ourselves. Which name in Nigeria can defeat an Atiku? Do you want to win an election? Or do you just want to go there? I'm not saying an Osibajo, Vice President Yemi Osibajo, cannot defeat Atiku. I am not saying that Babatunde Raji Fashola cannot defeat an Atiku. And in fact, these are the mentees of Asiwaju that we are even calling. It's funny. It's funny that you are calling these mentees. You get people that worked in his administration. The irony.
Yes. No, nobody can take that from him.
But the thing I'm saying here is that can you say that they will defeat an Atiku in this current dispensation in 2020?
In fact, maybe easier. It might be easier
to defeat an Atiku.
I don't know. Maybe Nigeria have their way of doing things. Intellectually, in terms of capability, Osibanjo is a strong candidate. And to be honest, Baba Fashola is my candidate, not even Osibanjo. Baba Fashola is my candidate because I believe in him.
See, that is what I tried to explain the other time.
Yes.
The politics comes first. The governance comes second, then growth and development. You have to win the election first now. Okay. Baba can get input from Fashola now. Baba can get input from Osibajo now. They work together in Lagos State for donkey years. Together. these judicial reforms that you have in Lagos State, a lot of them, the foundation came from Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, that we are seeing today in Lagos. And when we talk about governance in Nigeria, because Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the greatest, the best ever governor we've had in Nigeria's history. There's nothing you can do like this, you can do whatever it is. It's just facts. I just wanted to bring another governor in Nigeria's history, and let's drop facts.
Better than him.
Let's drop stats versus stats. Let us take our bias out of it. I'm just saying.
To be honest, I think we are lucky to have Asiwaju and
but the point I'm trying to make here, the point I'm trying to make here is that this man is like, you know what? Baba Buhari is doing a decent job. He's building a foundation. Now I want to come, and what I did in Lagos State, I want to implement it. Am I as strong as I used to be before? No. But do I still have those resources? Can I still mentor these people?
Okay.
Can I still negotiate? Because remember, this Nigeria, you have almost 300, 400 tribes. You have to know how to negotiate with people to get results. Because like they say, you sweat more during diplomacy, so you bleed less during war. Baba is a specialist in doing that. Baba is the unifier.
I like that phrase. You sweat more during diplomacy and you bleed less during the war.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. I would rather vote for an Asiwaju in an old people's home, or on a wheelchair, or that is on bed rest, than all the 17 candidates that we have there. None of them can match him achievement for achievement. And he still has those tools in place. And why not? 20 plus years ago, this man brought up a visionary idea of Lekki Free Trade Zone. Last week, or a couple of days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, President Muhammadu Buhari was the one that commissioned those projects. What are we talking about here?
No. Some people are gonna make some one excuses. I don't think I want to go into that because my time is to ask difficult questions is over, and I'm going to say thank you very much. You're exceptional, and I'm not the one saying it. And I can say this: Ken Omami will say something here that Ayodeji is a very exceptional, brilliant young man, and he doesn't know you. I can tell you that for free. So thank you for that. But I'm going to allow two more questions quickly in. I have Paul Akpofure or Ishapure. Who is going to come in first? Anybody can pick up off your this and ask a question. Please unmute your phone and throw your question in quickly. Okay, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, Chief.
I came in late, but good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My question and opinion is, irrespective of the qualities being thrown around as far as the candidates, the presidential candidates, if democracy is based on equity and fairness, the candidate that are qualified or is qualified should come from the Southeast region, Southeast region. We've had the presidency in other geographical areas. What do you think if an Igbo man is sitting down today and listen to all these things people are saying? What disqualifies him from being competent or qualified to run for the position? That is one. Now look at the terms of track record of the 3 top presidential candidates. Who is the best? Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati are 2 patriotic Nigerians. whose impeccable track record qualifies them to run for the position of the presidency and to be given the mantle. Others, without denial, have some form of serious criminal allegations against them. The antecedents do not qualify them for it. Honestly, I just wait, and many Nigerians are waiting to see what will happen come 25th of February. Tinubu himself, was he not the same Tinubu that stood behind the current president? Is it not the same Tinubu that made pledges that told Nigerians, APC will do this, do that, and that? Where are we today? This same man was even at the time was being described as the political leader of APC while the president was sitting there.
He's still a,
now,
he's still a leader.
These people are coming again. Everybody's running Tinubu. The same Tinubu has started pledging, promising all sorts. Nigerians, here you are. You will make your choice on the 25th. But I don't think we should forget the fact that Nigeria belongs to everybody. It belongs to the Yoruba man, it belongs to the Urobo man, it belongs to the Hausa man, turn by turn. So if it is a Miloko for who? Huh? I hope we don't make the mistake. Honestly, I don't have much to say.
Right.
Just laughing.
Thank you very much. I hope
Mr.
Paul Apofure. I hope Mr. Paul Apofure is going
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a comment from Chief Paul Apofure.
Yeah.
He's here from London. I think it's his own opinion, but you heard him. You have anything to say, sir?
Oh yeah, I do have some. I have some things to say. Firstly, I thought we've already addressed the Igbo presidency situation. I think that Mr. Paul Akpofure, as regards that particular question, you shouldn't direct that question at me, sir. You should direct the question at PDP, not me, not the APC party.
Why did they not allow the Igbo man to run under the PDP?
Yes, you should go and meet the PDP because PDP, the Igbos have been serving the PDP for 24 years, giving them votes, block votes. They've not given them presidency.
Yes, I agree.
So why are you not coming to challenge APC?
Are you saying there are no PDP? There are no Igbo man in APC who can run for this?
I have not said that. In fact, we had Igbo people that ran in the APC. Now let me shock everyone here. I think this might be a controversial statement, but I think maybe the Igbos don't want an Igbo person to run for office. I know you'd be like, why did I say that?
I will not argue that.
You know why you might say, why did I say? A lot of people are like, why did this boy say this?
Why?
Now, let us go back to the primaries. Let us look at the delegates that came from the southeastern part of Nigeria. Let's look at the amount of candidates from the southeast in APC and PDP. If you sum the amount of candidates or the amount of votes that these people got, that the Igbo candidates got, it's not up to 20% of the total amount of delegates that came from the south.
From that state, from that region.
Yes. So 80% of southeastern delegates voted for people that were not voted for candidates that were not from the southeastern
area. Yeah.
So why are you now questioning APC when they themselves, the delegates, voted? 80% of them voted for other tribes than
other people to take over
the Igbo tribe. You should go and face PDP for that.
No, in fact, you made a big statement, man, and it is left for them to answer that question. Is it not true that you people voted, you the Southeasterner, you voted Atiku and Tinubu? Is it not you that did the vote? Is it Tinubu that Tinubu gave you money? You should say your bet, right? So be it. I don't want to really debate that. To some extent, it's annoying.
Yeah,
Why
so
do you not do your own vote? Keep your own vote to yourself. And if you don't get the rest, then you know you've done your own part. You sold your vote, and now you're coming out and say it is our turn. That's a very big one.
So,
and I cannot argue that with you.
So, you know, because, you know, another thing that Mr. Paul Apofure said also was Emilokon. We have explained this Emilokon times and times again. It's tiring. He said it in Abeokuta. He was speaking to the APC delegates in Abeokuta. He still has to run a presidential election. He was talking to the delegates.
Yes.
Vote for me, it is my turn. He was not saying Nigerians, vote for me, it is my turn. At the time he was making those statements. Okay. Let us stop twisting and turning these things.
No, the people will twist this around.
Thirdly,
you've made it clear, and I don't think anybody is disputing that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about that.
Thirdly, talk about criminal records. Please, has my candidate ever been indicted or convicted of any crime anywhere in the world? I know people might want to throw the drug incident in the US. It was investigated and it was clean. Oh, they took $460,000 as forfeiture. But they will not tell you that they returned $1 million to Asiwaju. You see the hypocrisy? They did investigation and the $460,000 was collected in form of taxes. If you understand profits, if you understand 401k, you understand stocks, you understand the way taxes and all of that work in America, you won't ask such questions. Please, when they say he forfeited $460,000, let us complete the statement by saying that they refunded $1 million to him.
Good. Let's put that in record. Let's put that in record.
Because it was 1.46 million that they investigated, and they took 460,000 and they left 1 million. In February of 2003, because remember, Baba Obasanjo was looking for a way to nail him. The late Inspector General of Police, God bless his soul, Tafa Balogun, wrote to the US. This man, we are investigating him, blah, 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 blah. And they came, US government with their seal. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has neither been indicted nor convicted of any crime whatsoever in America. So what is your headache? Honestly speaking, why are you still talking about this? If you feel that, okay, he did this or did that, come to Nigerian courts now, come and sue him, or come to American courts now. Because, okay, come to American court now. It's tiring at times when you explain to people. Now, lastly, you talk about, what's it called? A track record. Sir, you know, I've been trying to bridle my tongue not to talk about the Labour Party presidential candidate. I've been trying my best not to talk about his criminal records. Because if I talk about his criminal records here, I don't want to talk about him, honestly speaking. You talk about track records, it's not half a governor as Nasir El-Rufai in Kaduna State as we are speaking now. Nasir El-Rufai is Governor Nasir El-Rufai is performing wonders in Kaduna State.
I love El-Rufai. El-Rufai is my man.
He's performing wonders in Kaduna State.
I love El-Rufai.
So when we are talking about track records, don't mention that man that ruled Anambra State from 2006 to 2014, that plunges people into poverty from 25% poverty to 54% poverty, that only raised IGR by a paltry 18% in 8 years. Theodore Oji in Abia State did better than him? Or is it about ease of doing business? Business did not thrive in Anambra State now. No businesses were coming there. And I'm not even the one that said it again. No. This business, whatever, is the Labour Party rep. Back then, when they were running for elections in 2011 or so. In 2011. This is on record, though. Labour Party, it deprived them of using the stadium or whatever wherever they wanted to use. So what are we talking about here? I don't want to really talk. If I talk about him here, I can use 30 minutes to talk about him. And if I talk about him here, we'll not live here. And I will really demystify this man in your eyes.
No, I think you made your point clear. What you've done.
I don't want to talk about it.
Read these comments out there because that's my job to do so here. He said you people are talking about APC and PDP. Is Peter Obi not PDP?
Sir, another one that a lady called Gift just posted here. He said Asiwaju was one that brought in Buhari. I have said it again. 15 million Nigerians voted for President Buhari. Now, who was the vice president of Atiku in 2019? Vice presidential candidate. Who was it?
It was Peter Obi.
Now, what does Peter Obi address Atiku as? He said, that's my mentor. SPV is mentoring him. Special purpose vehicle. That means Peter Obi is Atiku's boy now. Respectfully. I'm not saying it in a demeaning way. That's his mentor. He said it with his mouth.
Yes.
Numerous times. He said it in 2019 that Atiku is the best thing that should happen to Nigeria. Now, this is the Atiku that is doing SPV that we know. What are we talking about here?
Okay, let me take one more question, and that will be the last question we're allowed to call into.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Nero, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Good. Any question for Ayodeji, please?
I don't really have much question, but the only thing I want to ask is that I also asked so worried the question yesterday, but he is not the presidential candidate, so he wouldn't really know, and he's not into government at the moment. He is speaking from America. He's not into Nigerian government, so he won't really know how to deal with the issue. Because I asked Sowore yesterday as well, how are they going to equate the naira to the dollar? So how are they going to do that? Because definitely the Western world are going to fight against you. That's something I know for sure. So
no, I think trust me, Ayodeji can answer some of those difficult questions. Trust me. Maybe
okay. As he
that's
asked
why we
question,
said it.
as he asked the question,
then two.
Yeah, he
okay.
asked how we're going to make the naira.
Yeah, competitive. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get him.
You have another question, so you put the two together at once.
Yeah, then two. How are we going to do the refineries that APC they've invested billions of dollars into, but it's still not working? And but when they built, when Dangote is building the refinery, they all pledge their money into that refinery because it's a private entity, not a government entity. So why don't they sell up those refineries? So sell it to foreign investors who are going to invest in it and make it work again, whereby employment will be created for the people of Nigeria. Because that is what the PDP are pushing to you. That privatize it that they will come back to life. But the APC are saying no. Obasanjo that is supporting the Peter Obi today. When I looked into his record, what he did, those money he pledges for electricity, the billions of dollars to use to generate electricity, those money going to vanity. So what is APC or Asiwaju, what is going to do to see that one, the naira gets equated to the dollar, then two, how it's going to run the refinery, bring them back to full capacity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. First and foremost, I'm a card-carrying member of the All Progressive Congress from Ward G, Ria DLCD. So, secondly, I just want to put that out there, make that clear. Secondly, naira to dollar, dollar to naira. Now, one of the ways that the Asiwaju administration is going to fix this problem is by the renewed hope here. Once this renewed hope is implemented, we'll have more forex coming in. And there'll be less demand for that particular forex. Because what you see here is a demand and supply at the end of the day. So if we are importing more, definitely we are going to use more dollars. So with all of the plans in place in the Renewed Hope, we are going to ensure that we attract more revenue, more for it, because a proven revenue creator and generator. We are going to attract that, and we are going to demand less for those services and goods outside of Nigeria. In our education, it's going to revamp the educational system. In our healthcare, it's going to revamp our healthcare system. Our security, so we don't have to spend almost billions of dollars to go and get Tucano jets from America. It's going to do all of it. It's going to focus on agriculture. I know we talked about cultivation. 35%, Nigeria is only 35%. He is saying in 4 years, we want to cultivate it up to 65%. Now, one of the ways of also improving the Naira, like he's saying, is going to commodify the Naira. Because if you go and look at Asiwaju's manifesto in page 26, 27, he talked about commodity boards. With commodity boards, you are going to see the price of all the goods, all the cash crops or food crops in Nigeria. You see it there. With that, we can use that to compete. So if people want to come and buy this, like for example, cassava, for example. Cassava, Nigeria produces, I think, 20% of the world cassava production. 20%, Nigeria alone. How will you strengthen the Naira with that? By commodifying it, ensuring that if you want to buy cassava, it is going to be traded in the Naira. Remember, is it for agbado? Is it for cassava? Is it for ewa? Is it for gari? Is it for dodo? That's the true meaning of that. Commodifying it. These are our staple food. Being able to produce them to meet our feeding, meet our demands from a feeding perspective, and be able to sell them and look for the ones that I can commodify. That's how you strengthen it. Now, secondly, you talked about the refineries and all of that. The refineries are very touchy because it is not even the Buhari administration that has been spending money on fixing those refineries. We've had money being pumped in it by the PDP administration, and even before then. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Buhari administration has not put money in it. They've put money in it. In fact, the Port Harcourt refinery was supposed to start this, I think, late last month into this month. And what I would just say here is there is a new bride in town, which is the Dangote refinery. The federal government has invested 20% in that refinery, while ongoing work is still going in those other refineries. Why the federal government might say, you know what, we're not going to privatize the refineries, because they've seen what privatization has done to all the other industries in Nigeria or entities in Nigeria. How PDP sold all our industries, because you alluded to saying, oh, the PDP is saying we need to sell them, get investors in. How they sold Niger Dock, how they sold, they are from Delta State, how they sold Delta Steel. True. Delta Steel was worth over about 1.3 to 1.8 billion dollars. They sold it for like 70 million US dollars. Where is Delta Steel today? How much is Delta Steel giving back to the Nigerian economy? What about Alscon, the aluminum smelting company that's worth over 3 billion US dollars? They sold it for less than 140 million. And who is the person selling all these things? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's regime. That's when they're selling all of these things. Niger Dock. That is one of the largest fabrication,
and he's very proud of it.
What Niger Dock is one of the biggest shipping fabrication companies in the world. It was sold. Where is Niger Dock today? Which companies are fabricating all of these things? Or do you want to talk about telecommunications? What really happened in telecommunications? They will say, oh, we're the ones that brought MTN, Econet then. No, that's not the true story. It was during Abacha's regime that those people were already called. We're using cellular phones then now. They privatized Nitel because MTEL came out of Nitel. MTEL was supposed to be the mobile services company of Nitel to compete. They privatized Nitel. They crushed MTEL so that MTN and Econet and Co can grow. Let us not go into that, sir. Right. The federal government is still investing in those refineries because they believe those refineries can work. But also remember vandalism. We have Kaduna refinery. The pipe that we send the material from the south region down to Kaduna State. You understand the vandalism statement now?
Yes.
The vandalism going on. So these are things we need to put into perspective. We have 4 refineries in Nigeria. We have Kaduna, we have the one in Port Harcourt, River State, and we have 2 in Delta State. I think so, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
So these are the issues, and turnaround maintenances are expensive. I work in the manufacturing industry.
You're an engineer.
To do turnaround maintenance is quite pricey, and that's why they are spending all of this money. Now, could they do better? Absolutely, they could do better. Because if we have these functioning refineries, we may not have these issues of fuel scarcity and all that. But let me bust the bubble. With the Dangote refinery coming up, just because Dangote refinery is coming up doesn't mean that it will sell it at cheap price. It will sell it at global price, competitive price. So because by then we'll have removed subsidy, because the Buhari regime has said by June you see, that's why I pity. That's why I really pity Baba. And that's why Baba is the right man for this job. Because according to Nigerians' budget, by June, there's no provision for subsidy. So anybody
Buhari don't run.
Yeah, so anybody that is going to run Nigeria after May 29, he has his hands really full and really tied at the back. Because that person must know how to generate revenue, because things are going to go south. I'm not coming here, I'm not a prophet of doom, I'm not a harbinger of bad news, but there's no more subsidy by June. It's not budgeted. There are no provisions for it. Because when I was doing the calculation, because a price for the barrel of crude oil today, as we are speaking, is what's it called? Is $87 per barrel as we are speaking today. Now, when you do the math, landing cost alone into Nigeria is between 360 naira to 420 naira. Then you now put your own profit on top, maybe 10 naira per liter, 20 naira per liter. So right now, if they remove salt, you are supposed to be paying 440, 450 naira. Right now, as I'm speaking with you in Nigeria.
Wow.
So if Dangote refinery comes in, instead of that 350 to 400 now, it might be 300 to 350. It might just be a difference of 50 to 100 naira. So don't look at it like, oh, the refineries are going to work, that is going to come in, and oh, prices are going to drop. Hell no. Prices are going to drop maybe by only between 10 to 20%. That's it.
Oh, Ayodeji, young man, I am not saying this and I'm not flattering you. I know you don't want to admit.
I will not admit.
Nigeria would have been luckier to have a brain like you running for the office of our president, because you will be able to represent us, you will be able to jog with us, you'll be able to talk on the international stage. The world embraced Obama because he can talk. Those qualities are in you. I cannot thank you enough for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
I think you've answered all my questions to my satisfaction. It's up to Nigerians to now decide. But if Asiwaju want to win this election, you need somebody like you at the forefront, and you've done that. Great. I'm going to invite you to a debate where you have, because the Labour guys was quite eloquent too. Here you are, and I'm sure the PDP are ready. So we're going to have a big debate between it. I want the brains. Listen, I'm not looking for the candidate to talk. I want those who can actually tell us what is going on. That's why I actually want the diaspora, because you guys have what it takes. You've got the experience, and I'm surprised that you're quoting verbatim some section of the manifestos, which unfortunately not even the candidates can do. God will bless you for helping us understand what to expect from Asiwaju. Like I said, I want to end this interview by saying you answer the questions, whether we like it or not. Those of us who are biased will remain biased, but whether we like it or not, you answer the question. And I want to say this on a serious note. I am fighting, and I am of the belief that equity calls for the Southeast to be the next president of Nigeria. But the question, as this young man asked you tonight, those of you in the Southeast, why did you vote for Asiwaju, or why did you vote for that Baba. PDP.
Atiku.
You voted Atiku. You voted. Is it the love for money or your inferiority complex? I don't know where it comes from. And to come out today and begin to blame others, you would have done your own part first. Maybe that is a lesson we all need to take away from this interview. Ayodeji, we are proud of you. Honestly, I'm going to have you again. If I don't have that debate, I need you back on this platform before the election. God bless you.
Thank you. I want to use this opportunity to thank my DG, Director, Diaspora Directorate, Prince Adiomole. He's doing an excellent job. He's always everywhere. I know he's traveling back to Nigeria today. He just came for an event yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia, and is going back to Nigeria today again to keep on working. I want to recognize him. He is a great, great leader. He's doing his very best to ensure that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima are president and vice president, respectively, 29th May 2023. Thank you all very much.
Ayodeji,
yes, sir.
My message to Asiwaju is, if you become the president, we want to see brilliant people like you, like he's claiming, in that cabinet, not outside the cabinet, because this is where I understand that he's going to work with the right team. He should bring in the right team. He has brought in one tonight. I've seen it. I can testify to yours. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice one, sir. Bye.
SR TV. Innovative content.